Good morning. It is me. I'm Ebba. And it is the 23rd. I believe it's Sunday today. Let me just hang on. In my pocket, I got my clock. Well, other people call them phones. I call them, mine's a clock. It's more of a clock than it is anything. It's 10:30. 10:30, Sunday, March 23rd. There we go. Clock tells me the everything. Not the weather or anything like that, but just, date, time. And then it's a phone. Anyway, yes, here I am, taking video. So, I've decided that in order to keep our channel with something going on it, that every few days, maybe 3 times a week, maybe not that often, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to do one of these in-person types of things, and I'm doing this today, and it will upload today, and it's not going to have any editing in it. Gary's busy today trying to edit some of our other videos, and because he has to use his bigger computer for that, he has to go inside to do that. So he'll be going inside later on, and when he's inside doing that, then I'm going to be doing taxes. Yay. Somebody has to do them. I can. I know how. And so I will be doing our taxes later on today. There is a money that will come toward the end of April if I get my taxes done before the beginning of April. So I have to get them done in the next few days. I like to do that anyway, because then it makes sure that all the other people that have to look at our income and make sure that we can, how much money we're going to get next year, they can look at our income on time, and that way we don't end up with breaks in our money and things like that, because we really can't afford it. When even living in I mean, this motorhome could have been cheaper living in it if it didn't fall apart on us. I mean, we, as you've seen in the other videos, if you've looked, we are currently dealing with outage generator, which means we don't have good electricity. Without water, we've had to shut the water off because we have a leak in the toilet, so we don't have running water anywhere, and without a furnace, because every time we turn the furnace on, it is producing carbon monoxide, and our carbon monoxide thing above my head makes noise and tells us there's carbon monoxide in the room, so we have to have it off. Now, before we leave and try driving across the country, we might have Carl Cox's company look at it and see if they can tell us what's wrong, at least. Because, it might be just something tiny that they can fix for $100, and it might be something huge that is another $1,000. We can't afford it. If we're going to try and go home, we have to try and get across the country, and we have to go fairly soon if when we get there we're going to do anything like selling at markets and things like that, which we want to do. So today is going to be my tax day. It's going to be Gary trying to do some of the videos inside, and so that's what our day is planned to do today, the big thing that we're going to be doing. It's sunny outside today. It feels like it could end up getting warm. I didn't look at the temperature yet this morning to see what it's supposed to go up to. The wind is there, and we can always tell when there's wind and where it's coming from. It's coming from our right side right now, because it's blowing the fumes from our motor in. We have the motor on right now. This is, pardon me. In the morning, Gary starts up the motorhome, and he runs it for maybe an hour. And that allows us to charge up some of our things, because we have a little inverter. It's just small, and we plug it in, and while the thing is running, we can charge up some of our things. We can also take that inverter, once the sun has used the solar to charge our coach batteries a little bit, we can put it in the back, and usually between 2 and 3 we can charge again, so we can be recharging our things. We cannot use that for anything else. Like, that is it for electricity, but at least we can charge things up, which makes it really good. So we do have that. We can't have heat because heaters use a lot more. They minimum 1,000 watts. The thing with computers and or laptops and computers in general, but laptops and iPads and things like that, they they use very little wattage, and it's your watts that count when you're dealing with an inverter and things like that. So Gary has his smaller computer. He can't plug in his big one with anything else. I don't even know if his big one can be charged on our charger. See, it uses a lot of wattage. But we have his computer, his older laptop, my laptop, which is an older one. And we also have my my Switch and my iPad, and I think his iPad or his phone. Either one or the other or both. All plugged in at the same time. And we run fine. We're smooth, it stays hooked, all the rest of it. But they're only running at anywhere from 35 to 70 watts, and probably closer to 60 watts for each item. So if you total it all up, it's only 100 and something watts, which is what our little inverter can handle. But if we tried to put in anything else, they're all up to 400 and over. So we can't use it for printing, we can't use it for, for this, that, and the other. But we can at least charge our things, which is good. As I said in one of my other videos, which you may see later, I'm not sure which one it was, they're learning to cope. We're getting back to living the way that we did when we had years ago. We were forced to live in a motorhome. We weren't really forced, but we decided to live in a motorhome when we had to move out of a house that I was in, and the landlady died, and it was a mess. So anyway, our quickest thing was to move into this old motorhome that we bought from my parents. It had a lot wrong with it, and it didn't have a furnace. The oven didn't work. It didn't have air conditioning. So we lived very similar. Now, it did have a stove. It ran on propane, and the fridge was good. So we could cook on the stove and things like that, but we couldn't do a lot of anything else. And it's the same with this. Now, we're trying to figure out if there's a way for us to be able to run our Starlink, because it doesn't absorb a lot of electricity. So we're trying to figure out if there's a way for us to be able to run our Starlink on this, on the what we've got, the little inverter we've got. If we buy a bigger inverter, it's going to just draw more power off of our batteries at once, and we don't want to do that. So we just got a little one that goes into like a cigarette lighter type plug. And we're using that, and we're going to try and see if we can get our Starlink, but we're not going to do it necessarily right here. We're going to be staying here until after we get our big checks, which is on the 27th, I think. It's on Thursday anyway, whatever Thursday is. We get our bigger checks, which aren't huge, and then we'll pay all our bills while we're here and we're on the internet. And then we can go. We'll be able to go. Then we're going to travel on, and we're going to, I don't know where we're going to stop along the way. We'll be making stops along the way, and we're going to get as far as we can on whatever we can put into the gas tank. And we'll let you know. That's why I want to do these sort of, not really daily, but these more regular ones. And the other ones will be more about talking about the area we're in, or, whatever. Especially if we're staying for any length of time, then we'll do videos that talk about where we are and, all that. But right now, I'm just doing these just to allow you to catch up and know what's going on. And I'm really sorry. I'm apologizing profusely to my crafting friends because I cannot craft. I just have. There is no way for me to be able to craft and film with what we're dealing with and what we're using. So that is pretty much it for the day. Last night was really cold, as you can probably see by what I'm wearing. It went down to, I think it was -11 was what it was supposed to. But there was wind, and I don't know how cold it got, but it was really cold last night. And Bree tried to keep tucking herself down further and further in the bed, which wasn't helpful because there's 2 big blankets that are on top, and they tend to, I don't know how they do it, because we've got a sheet and another blanket, and then those 2 blankets are on top. And they tend to move when she moves. They move down the blanket, maybe because the top one is really heavy, and it just moves with her, and it drags the other one along, I think. I think that's what's happening. I don't know, it's magic. But anyway, yeah, so I kept trying to fight and get these blankets back up. And yeah, it was quite a night. But we were cold. We were cold. Socks and hats and everything, you know, as much as we could put on under, and then under the blankets. It's going to be really nice when we get someplace warmer. Yeah, Beverly, you're right. We should have gone west, but we didn't know, you know. We're just, you know, it's just the way it is. So I'm going to stop for today, and hopefully that helps you kind of figure out what we're doing, and, you know, gives you something to look at on our channel, if nothing else. And we'll talk again in maybe a couple of days, maybe 2 or 3 days, I don't know. But today's tax day for me, and editing for Gary later on. We're gonna probably have a peanut butter sandwich for breakfast. If we've got enough bread. We may have to go for bread. I don't think we go until tomorrow for bread, though. Tomorrow it's on half price. There's lots of bread on at half price at the one store, so we go buy bread there. And it is sort of whatever we get, that's what we eat. You know? And sometimes it's pretty good bread. The last bread we got was really good. It was really nice. It was a butter bread, butter bread or something it was called. I don't know. It was good anyway. It was a type of a white bread, but it was really quite dense but soft, really soft. Anyway, it was really good. So we enjoyed it. We usually get like 2 loaves at a time, so they don't go too, you know, old in the fridge. And but yeah, so beans for supper tonight probably. That's what we have. I mean, you live how you can. We could have spaghetti. We do have spaghetti. We have a small box of spaghetti, and we have spaghetti sauce, so we could have spaghetti tonight. Maybe we'll do that. But it uses a lot of water, is what it is. The jugs we buy are 4-liter jugs, and they are $2 a piece at Walmart. So you know, like it's $2. But we have to use it in the toilet. We have to use it for washing dishes, which we do every few days, and we have to use it for cooking as well. So and drinking. So that's why, you know, Gary goes in and gets me hot water, so we don't have to use the stove to heat. He just gets hot water in the morning for me for my tea time. So yeah, so I guess that'll be it for today. So you take care. Hopefully your life is going well and is better than ours, and you have a good day. And we'll go and do the same. I mean, you know, you live with what you got. That's what we do. It was depressing for a while, and yes, we set up the Ko-fi thing and all the rest, but you know, we haven't really had any big reaction to that, and we weren't really, you know, expecting it either. So you take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.